Hi everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin figure, Nightwatcher Casey by NECA. Now I've been liking a lot of these Last Ronin figures. I've been loving the comics too. You should really check out the comics. The comics are really good. They're dark, they're gritty, and overall I really do enjoy them. So I've been liking the figures that have been going with them as well. So first thing I want to mention is that I do have a membership program. So for $2 a month, you get a lot of cool stuff like blooper reels. You also get behind the scenes. And I might even add a couple of tips and stuff for action figure repairs and so on. So without any further ado, roll that intro. All right, so here he is in packaging right off the cuff. I love this front art. This looks really cool. I like that a lot. So you got Last Ronin here, The Lost Years, Nightwatcher Casey Jones, and NECA. You open it up. All right, you get this nice window where you can see him, all his accessories. Turn it to this side. You get a really cool picture of the figure. Close it back up. Come around to this side here. You get some more really good art. I do like that. Come around to the back. You get some cool pictures of the figure. You also get a little bit about him. And NECA right down there. On this side here, you get the iconic cover from the first issue. What number he is and his name. All right, come around here. You get the Last Ronin on top, your age restriction and choking hazards. And then underneath you get your legal and SKUs. So, with all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is out of packaging. Now the first thing we're going to do with him is look at his points of articulation. So the head does move. All right. You get a shoulder joint with a swivel, an elbow joint, and a wrist joint. Okay, let's get this other arm up. You also have a hip joint here. All right, you have a thigh joint with a little bit of a swivel to it. All right, you have a knee joint and an ankle joint. So everything seems to work pretty well. The shoulders feel a little stiff, so I don't know if you guys may want to add hot water to it. They don't go up that high either. So now let's start taking a look at his finer details. So like always, we're going to start with the head sculpt. I love this mask here. Let me bring this head up just a hair so you can see it a little bit better. That looks wicked cool. I love the black with the white eyes in it. You look at this side, you can even see stubble on the side of his face. And looks to be like either a gray or a whitewash in his hair to kind of bring out the highlights. So I do like that a lot. Then you come around to this side. Basically the same thing. All right, back to the front. And now let's start looking at his gear. So everything's set up in that black and white, gray, and red. So I like that overall look to him. Looks really nice. Come around this way here. Let's lift this arm up a little bit. All right, you can see this here. I believe that's for his sledgehammer, if I remember right. All right, bring this arm down so you can see the arm detail. All right, come around to the back. Basically more of the same of his armament and what have you. Now this guy doesn't have as much as the black lines in it like some of the others just because of the color code that they use for him. All right, so you lift that arm up. You can see this, padding here. I want to say that's hockey padding. I could be wrong in that. All right, bring that arm down. I like the wraps on his arm too. I like the detail to that. That looks really nice. All right. So overall, I think he's a pretty decent looking figure. All right, so now let's go through his accessories. So first off, he comes with an alternate head. All right, so that's his face there. The hockey mask sitting on top. I think I would have liked this better if they would have just did the head without the mask on top and then done the mask separate like they've done with other Casey Jones figures. I think that would have been a little bit better. All right. He comes with a series of hands. So he has 2 open hands. So he has this one here. All right. You got your other open hand. All right. Oops. Almost lost a hand. He has 2 holding hands here. He has this one here. This one might be for the smaller weapons like his baseball bats and what have you. Here's the other one. All right. Here's another holding hand. As you can see, this one's a lot more open, so that might be for the sledgehammer. And this one as well. All right. Comes with a hood. All right. Comes with a cricket bat. All right. 2 baseball bats. There's 1 and 2. Comes with a sledgehammer. All right. And last but not least, he comes with a cloak. Now on the back of this cloak, it has a spot for the baseball bat, so we'll see how well those work with him also. So now let's start getting into this. So that's the first thing we'll do is the head swap. All right. Man, that's on there. I might have to hot water him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to get the hot water for this. All right, so I'm letting them soak in the hot water for about a couple of seconds because that's all you really need. You know, I think I'm going to start making it standard practice to have hot water sitting here. Yeah, see how easy that came off? All right, might as well try this new head. Woo! That's hot. That's really hot. All right. Boom. Now see how easily that swaps out with a little bit of hot water. So, whoops. So now let's give this head a rotation. All right. You got this side here. All right, to the front. To this side. And back around to the, front again. So it all works pretty well with him. No issues. Let me see how easy it is to take these hands off. I was able to get both of the hands off. All right. That last one out of there. Do these 2 open hands first. All right. That's 1. And 2. All right. So 2 open hands fit fine. No issues with those. All right. Pop those off. All right, we got our sledge hands here. Oops. One and 2. All right, and I got those here. The sledge in here. Now the other advantage of dousing this stuff in hot water is it makes the fingers really loose, so you can get the weapons in their hands a lot better. All right, so there he is with the sledge. No issues with that. All right. Remove these hands. All right. Now we got our two holding hands, or smaller holding hands. All right. You swap out pretty well, no issues. Try the baseball bats first. All right, there goes one. And there goes two. All right. So now, both hands have bats in them. That looks really good. I do like that. And last is the cricket bat. And of course, that fits in there just as well. So all the weapons swap out pretty good. No issues with any of that. So now let's see how well this cape works. Now I purposely saved the cape until after I did the weapons just because of the factor. It looks like something that, you know, is going to constrict the shoulders, which I'm 100% correct in that. All right. Boo, boo, boo. So there's the cape. Now, I think I would have liked this to have been some sort of cloth. I think it would work better with this figure just because of the factor. Once this is on, you now have no movement in the upper part of the arms. You can only move them from like the forearms to the hands, which is kind of a bummer. All right, so while we got this on, let's put these bats in here. One and two. All right. So the two bats fit in there pretty good. Let's try the sledge. All right. So the sledge fits in there. Let's see if I can get this arm out of the way. Sledge fits in there fine. No issues. And now you got the hood. All right. And I guess we might as well give him the cricket bat back, which is the only one that doesn't have a spot. All right. So there we go. Everything seems to fit pretty well with this figure. Okay, so let's get into my final thoughts with them. So first off, these joints move okay. You might want to use some heat to get these joints really moving. I mean, I was still able to move them, but they were very tight. So a little bit of heat definitely will help out there. The same with adding on like his head and hands. I definitely had to use heat to swap the heads out, as you saw. Plus, the hands, it also helps as well, and it opens up the fingers so you can get the weapons in a lot easier. So I definitely recommend using heat for any time you want to swap anything out on him. And I do like the overall look to him. I think he's a really good looking figure. So at the end of the day, would I recommend this figure? Yes, I do. I do like this figure a lot. I think he's a really cool figure. I love the black and white and red look to it. Just because of how they use the red really accents certain parts. And, you know, it makes them look really cool. Probably the only real issue I have with this is the cape. Yes, the cape does look cool, but it restricts a lot of movement. So with his arms, you can only move his arms from the forearms to the hands. So anything above that, like the shoulder and bicep, you can't get any movement once his cape is on. So I do find that to be a bit of a disappointment. But other than that, I do like the rest of this figure. So with that being said, the first thing I want to do is give a shout out to everybody who supports this channel. First on that list is Byron Bassett and his alter ego, Humongous. He does a lot of things for the show, and he's a big supporter of it as well. So I recommend that you check out his YouTube channel and his show that he does every Sunday. The same with Action Figure Geeks. They're a Reddit channel that I'm part of who also supports the channel. And of course, all of their information is in the description. So check that out on both of them. And also take a look at my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle playlist and my membership program. Plus hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.